to on digital radio, on the app, on your smartphone, on X, YouTube, and Facebook. The Sportscast. Expect the unexpected.
The update presented by the Sportscast.
All right. Welcome to the Sportscast, August 18th, 2025. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to all our channels, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Apple Podcasts. You can also listen to us on your smart speaker. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please leave a rating and a review. It will help us out tremendously. Also visit our website, thesportscast.net. You can also follow us on X and also Instagram at the Sportscast 1, and check out our app, the Sportscast for iOS. A lot of signings are happening in the NFL still. Teams are putting rosters together, getting trades. Players are getting holding out, but teams are saying, hey, with the heck of it, you might be getting traded. And join us all the way from North Palm Beach, Brett Blair. Welcome back to the Sportscast.
Thank you for having me, Sant. It's always a pleasure. Beautiful Monday by the beach, by the pool here. Just trying to get some notes and some thoughts together. But yeah, a lot going on, man. A lot of things happening.
Going on. Have you been watching preseason this past 2 weeks?
This week I finally did. The first week I kind of really don't, as it's nobody's really going to play any time. I watched. Week obviously will be that final week. I'm always concerned in that third week of preseason, because you always get that ACL injury. You always get the torn meniscus. You always get something that happens.
And that's again why
and that's why they kind of did away with preseason as much as it used to be, where it was a 5-game, preseason, sometimes 6 if you played overseas in a preseason game, something like that. And they realized, just like with the kickoff, the amount of injuries that are happening that are now affecting, your entire. Hold on, sorry about this. Your entire year, because why you had to have a game.
We're losing Brett a little bit, but preseason. Oh, there you have it. So, Brett, what's your take on preseason? Does preseason matter? I mean, why is preseason important? Is it more for the players to get in like some reps in, or you think it's good to look at players that, hey, we'll see if you can make the team or not, perhaps a practice squad? But what's your take on preseason?
No, at first I apologize. I had some calls coming in, so that's why I couldn't hear you. But what I was saying at that time is exactly what I'm saying now. Preseason's a necessary evil. You have to build continuity. You have to build that when you're running a 12-yard out and the quarterback's going to be timing that 12-yard out, or any of those exit cross razors, anything you're talking about with timing, consistency. Obviously, the more you practice it, the better you're going to be. Preseason itself, the quote-unquote games, I've never been a big fan, because you always get the torn ACLs, the meniscus, that you get those injuries. And, just like I have an offensive lineman on Dallas who caught an injury, going preseason here, practicing the preseason. It has to happen. There has to be continuity. But I firmly believe that the fact that they've got rid of the majority of preseason and it added an extra regular season game is a good thing as far as stopping unnecessary injuries, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, like you were saying, necessary evil, give or take. Like the worst part is injuries. And
can you hear me, Sam?
Can you hear me? We're having issues with Brett Blair. As Brett was saying, like the pros is get reps in, but the cons is the injuries. You're going into a tough game that you could get a hamstring, a sprain, things like that. So, but sometimes some players could fake it and say, look, I want to fake this so I can save up my energy for the regular season. I don't know if Brett's.
I'm losing your mic. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Can't hear you in and out. Let me put on some headphones.
Yeah, it's okay. We're gonna come back. We're gonna play this commercial, and we'll be back in a few. In the rhythm of life, every tick of the clock holds a story. But how do we make every moment count? Meet Start Time, the simplest way to log, track, and optimize your time right at your fingertips. Start Time is designed for simplicity. With just a tap, begin logging any activity. And when you're done, hit stop. It's that easy. Wherever you are, Start Time knows. Our location detection feature automatically tags your logs, giving context to every second spent. Keep your day in perspective with a log tab. Every task, every moment, neatly organized and easy to review. Log, track, and optimize your time with a tap. Ready to make every moment count? Start with Start Time. Available now for iOS. All right. Well, let's go into the headlines, Mr. Brett Blair.
Please.
A lot going on with the NFC East. Eagles acquiring John Metchie on the Texans. Big trade. Metchie was part of a crowded Texans receiving core that also included Nico Collins, Christian Kirk, Higgins, Taylor Noel, Justin Watson, Xavier Richardson, and the injured Tank Dell. Now they're joining this Philadelphia Eagles with A.J. Brown and Johnny Wilson, Devontae Smith. Your thoughts over this trade?
To be honest with you, the Eagles have a pretty. I mean, I don't think he's going to hurt. He's a good player. Metchie's a good, he's a good receiver, solid receiver. Been in the league a couple of years, but he's not. I don't even see him being the third starter, the third option, on the receiving core. I mean, I can see him maybe getting, if they get a forward set, but they run that standard 2 receiver, one go to as for a 3 receiver set is much less because of Saquon and because again they want now to utilize the running game, the screen game as much as the passing game. You have 2 dominant wide receivers there. Well, one really dominant, one big boy, and one really good in our Alabama boy. But it's going to be all about clearing space for Santana. For what's his name? Saquon. Saquon. Yeah, and then I just think he fits in. He'll be number 3. Maybe if they do a 4 receiver set. I mean, do you like the trade? How do you feel about it?
The trade, I think, adds a little bit more volume to this wide receiver core. It helps, doesn't hurt, I don't think. But the offense does run through Saquon. The only thing with Saquon is, can he have another good year? Because you know how running backs are. They regress after a good season. They may not be the worst, but they kind of regress a little bit. But I think it's a good pick. I don't think it hurts. It helps.
No, I agree. And with Saquon, look, you get hit 400 times a year, a couple years in a row, and it starts adding up. And he's had some injury-prone seasons, but I'll give it a thumbs up. I don't think it's a bad pick for them just to
not a bad pick.
More speed, a little bit more depth on that wide receiver core. It's not bad, but I just don't see him making any major production this year. Maybe. 30 catches, something like, 500 yards. He'll be that guy in between that they throw in, but that offense is really set who the ball's going to throw in, as you touched on perfectly. Everything's going to focus through Saquon in that offense.
Quite impressive. We'll see what happens with the Eagles. You don't have them as NFC East champ, right? Yeah, the Cowboys.
You had to set me up. Yeah, you had to set me up right away. Right? You had to throw that out there. You had to make sure. I have the Dallas Cowboys as a surprise, but then again, you and I know what we were talking about. It's been 9 or 10 years since the NFC has a division winner 2 years in a row.
They have not won back to back.
No one. So exactly. So it's wide open, my man. Who knows? Look, I've joked about it. If Dallas can stop the run, we're going to be
Over.
tough to beat. That offense is good. The pieces we've put in there. I want to see what Javonte does as far as being able to run the ball. The offensive line is the offensive line. They're 3 first-round picks, all named Tyler. We dig the name Tyler for some reason on our offensive lineman. But that'll be interesting. Philly, Washington. I know you had mentioned earlier. You said, the Commanders are actually kind of looking to move Robinson.
Yeah, Brian Robinson Jr. The Commanders was shopping around for trade offers. Robinson's entering his last year, Brett, of his rookie contract. The 2022 third-round pick has topped 700 rushing yards, Brett, in each of his first 3 NFL seasons and had a career high 8 touchdown runs in 2025. While averaging 4.3 yards per carry to get along with 20-yard receptions. Robinson previously topped 1,000 scrimmage images in 2023. However, he's had multiple injuries and has yet to play a full season. Is this a good idea for the Commanders to get rid of him?
Look, there's things that are known in-house, you could say, right? Like at the training facilities, at their workout facilities, at their, anything to do with the team. I personally think it makes no sense. You have exactly what you need in a power runner in Robinson. You have Eckler. That's your third down back. That's your speed back, your scat back, the Dave Meggett of old. Like that's a good setup. Like McLaurin, I know was a big piece, but now if you're now looking at McLaurin, you're looking at Debo, okay, who is all around, can play almost any offensive position on the field, any offensive skill position on the with now the rest of that, the offensive line. I love their coaches. I think Dallas should have kept him as their head coach, so that defense is going to be flying around the football. I don't understand it from a standpoint of, look, this is how you win championships. You fill these needs. This person has to be better than your person, right? Belichick with the matchup game. I don't see why they'd be doing it, but maybe there's something a little deeper that I don't know about.
Commanders do have Austin Eckler, by the way, so they're not losing too much. They got something going on in the running game.
They got something going on in the running game. Now, hey, can I do you? Will you do me a favor, Santiago?
What's up?
I have a request from some of our viewers in the southern
in the southern hemisphere of
asking for a little AFC info, and I told them I'd see if you would acquiesce, if maybe we could talk just the AFC East a couple of times. I told them I could sum it up. Look, if you want a great summation of that division, that entire division, a real good summation is bad.
How bad is it? You got the Jets, you got the Dolphins, you got the Patriots, you got the Bills. Those have lost preseason games.
The Pats might win that. Look, the Bills are obviously your favorite going. Okay,
Yeah,
Cook is a great running back. Obviously, Josh Allen.
Contract extension for Cook.
Right, and Kelly Shakur. You know what I'm saying? You got who's the other one that they have? The other wide receiver that they have. They have talent, but don't be surprised. All right. And I hate to say it because I hate them from the 10-year run they made, if the Patriots actually make a run for the division this year.
Yeah, now with new coach Mike Vrabel.
Fabian Henderson they picked up, obviously Ramondre Stevenson they had, the 2 running backs. Drake May is throwing the ball. He's really got something. He's got that ability. I would not be surprised. I don't understand about Juden. I don't know why he wouldn't want to stay and kind of build something in New England, since he's been the only positive thing on that team for the past couple of years. But obviously Buffalo is your favorite. I really wouldn't be surprised though to see New England make a run. And for all of you Dolph fans, all right, Dolph fans down here, you have no cornerback. All right, you have no way to stop the pass. You're going to be in for a very long season. I'm sorry.
What do you think about Matt Judon visiting the Miami?
He came down here, right? Today. He came down and he just visited with the Dolphins,
doesn't mean he's going to sign, but
no, but it's also South Florida. Just like no LeBron and Shaq and everybody comes to Miami or South Florida eventually. because they all want to find out what it's like to live in South Florida, and then they find out how really plastic it is down here anyway, and they don't want to live down here anymore anyway. Judon, I don't think he'll sign with the Dolphins. What other team?
That's his first
A
visit.
little lack of knowledge in this. Who has he met with
no
already?
Idea who's planning to visit? But this is his first visit, so he might be visiting other teams. Maybe the Cowboys. I don't know.
Whoa. Yeah, I don't think we can afford them. I think we have our own problems that give me nightmares. With our number 11. So yeah, if Judon could come over and if he's gonna play for nothing, then we'll come over. But I don't think he's gonna play for nothing. He's gonna want again top dollar, and he deserves that. The numbers prove it for the past 3 seasons.
Quite something. We'll see what happens with Matt Judon visiting Miami. A lot of these rosters are still shaping up. So contracts up in the air. And a big one, Bengals are taking trade offers for tight end Trey Henderson, Brett. This has been a huge negotiation for the past offseason.
Hear me, Tom.
The Bengals are willing to give up him, or is this a negotiating tactic? We're losing Brett a little bit.
You just came back.
I came back. So what do you think about the Cincinnati Bengals taking trade offers for tight end Trey Henderson?
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't understand that. So it has to be something in house because I actually have that offense as the number 1 offense in the entire NFL this year.
Wow.
Okay, take that from if you're looking from a fantasy standpoint, if you're looking at it from just a offensive output. So hear me, Sam?
Yeah.
Okay, that team will be the most productive team in the entire NFL. Not AFC, their quarterback cannot miss. You have between Higgins and Jamar Chase, T. Higgins would be a number 1 on 60% of every team in the NFL, 60% of any NFL team. But here, he's a number 2. Okay, just the team, Chase Brown that they have running the ball. The team is set up perfectly. Their offensive line is
but
dynamic.
Can they do it without Trey Henderson, or you think they need him?
I mean, I do. I think that that he would be that outlet. I mean, when you have a quarterback like Burrow that can actually go through his progressions, that could say 1, 2, 3, 4, like you would say Tom Brady would. Go through his second receiver, third receiver, check off to the 4th guy. That's when you need a tight end, a safety valve, a Novacek, a Witten. You know what I'm saying? Just these safety valves, a Todd Christensen, if you want to go old school football, that your quarterback is there for. So
he's a defensive end. I have to apologize to everyone. He's not a tight end. Trey Henderson. Hendrickson is a defensive.
Oh no, Hendrickson is not going to be traded. He's not going anywhere. Yes. He's asked for a trade forever. He's not going anywhere. He's just
Henderson. My bad. Yeah, there's different.
You're not talking about the tight end. You're talking about the defensive tackle Hendrickson.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah. Just keep going.
Okay, sorry about that. No, Trey Hendrickson is not going to be traded. It is. He asked for a trade. He actually did it at the right time. Like he asked for it like 7 months ago. He said, going into contract, I want to be traded. They're not going to trade him. He's by far the best defensive player on that team. I don't know what's going on if it's going to come to a point where they're going to have to just pay the money, and they pay the money. But like he's, again, like I'm dealing with on our team. Like you got a player who is the best defensive player on that team.
Mike,
Mike.
what do you think is going to happen with that? Do you think that's going to be closed right before week 1 begins, or like what have you heard?
Well, the prediction we made a few weeks ago, as I said, he would, just like they did with everybody else, he would be signed right before week 1. But I mean, it's embarrassing when you're as diehard a Cowboy fan as I am, and you see, that they literally waste tens of millions of dollars every
Money's
year.
being wasted, that's for sure.
Right, because they don't sign. Oh my God, they could have signed Dak for like 20 or 31 or 32 when everybody else was signing. Instead, they waited, let everybody else sign, and they had to sign him for the max contract at over $40 million. CeeDee Lamb. Everybody else is getting paid what they're supposed to be paid. They wait. They pay max contract on that. Okay. Trayvon Diggs goes the whole thing. Then they have to pay. We paid if we now sign Micah like we've done now, when we could have signed him for 33 or 32 right before JJ Watt signed, right before all of the remainder of the big five, or big four, you could say, signed. They could have got him for locked him in 35, 36. Now they're going to pay 44 if they want to get him in house and want to satisfy him. And how, as a franchise, can nobody go to their, if you're Stephen Jones, and I hate making this all about the Cowboys, but it's so infuriating. If you're Stephen Jones, you can't go to your father and say, "Listen, Pop, we wasted $12 million in this year. We wasted $14 million this year. Do you think it'd be a little bit easier to hit the salary cap and do what we're supposed to do if we were able to get some of these guys?" And it messes with continuity. How bad was Dak when he came in because he missed the entire preseason? He missed, and it's not really just the games; it's the OTAs, it's the reps
you're going to face consequences.
The 7-on-7s, 100%. So how?
That's why preseason matters.
Yeah. You are correct. I'm glad they shortened it, but you need the continuity. You need the practice and the 7-on-7s things. Obviously, you want some game time, experience. That's why you play a couple of preseason games. You also, the big thing you and I both know, it's all about trying to make the 53-man roster. If you're not going to make the 53-man roster, I want to be on the scout squad. I want to be on the practice squad, because these are the guys that are one injury or one trade away from actually making the 53-man roster, maybe actually even starting.
Who knows how many players are playing for a contract? You're playing for a roster spot. It doesn't mean they'll make that roster spot within that team specifically. Other teams could be looking at
There you go. Show up, and you hit it on the head, my man. They're showing up. They're showing their wares for that team or any other team that might be lacking in that specific position. And in the NFL, every team is pretty much at one point lacking from many, many positions. Exactly. 53 men is a tough way to fill.
Roster to get in.
Yeah, just think of offensive and defensive linemen, man. Think how many of those you go through that beat up and injured everything every year that you got to work around, and then you're off and defensive the whole 9 yards. So we seem to be going in and out, man. I'm sorry. Do we have a bad connection today?
A little bit bad connection, but we're going through. It's a medium, but it's okay.
We'll work through it.
We'll work through this tough offensive line we have. So we have Caleb Williams, Chicago Bears quarterback, had an impressive win preseason over the Bills, 38-0.
0.
Connecting with Alamisa Zacchaeus for 36-yard touchdown on the opening drive. After sitting out 24 times, Williams came out firing against Buffalo in the first chance to operate Coach Ben Johnson's offensive during game. Caleb Williams, new coach Ben Johnson. What are your prognostications? What's your preview for this team?
Well, okay, so from a positive football standpoint, I'll give you both. Obviously, because you and I are big fantasy football, I'll give you both. From a point 2-yard drive against a third string, don't get me wrong, but they have so much talent on that team. I mean, like, you have the second year Oduzier, you have DJ Moore, you have two receivers that are great. Oh yeah, you have Devontae Swift, you have Cole Kmet, you have Loveless. Now, don't be surprised. This is the sleeper. This is the new guy out of Michigan who fits that same mold as Kelsey and what's his name from the Raiders? I forgot the Bowers from the Raiders. Bowers.
Bowers.
Yeah,
had a good connection with Geno Smith this past weekend.
He did. He looked good, but that's the type of tight end this Loveless is. So they've surrounded.
That's like the number one option for receiver.
They've surrounded Caleb with a lot of talent. If he can produce, if he can take that second-year jump, okay. And now we'll break it the other way. I'm not taking him in fantasy football. I have no faith that he's going to throw for 4,000 yards and things like this. But Aduzier, I'll take as a
quarterback of your fantasy team.
Yeah, I don't have a third string quarterback. We play unless you're playing a two quarterback league, which I haven't done in many years. Yeah, he's not
Those are
making my
fun.
he's not my quarterback. Now I'm sorry, I'm a little bougie or biased. I will not pick any player on the Chicago Bears except for DeAndre Swift, who will have a good year. And late as a second round tight end, I'm going to take Lovelace. Now that you're in the league with me, you're probably stealing from me, but that's okay. Well,
Hey,
I'm going to try to get
whatever
that'll
the
be
cards are
somebody.
handed to me.
That's it, bro. You
It's
play,
out of our
play
control. I gotta play what the cards are handed to me.
the,
All right,
you play the
lastly,
hard.
Commanders activate Terry McLaurin into an off-pup list amid Holden. He's also looking for a contract extension. Turns 30 this month. Brett, your thoughts over the situation? I heard the coach, or the Commanders coach, actually is trying to push him to play. What situation will happen here with the Commanders and Terry McLaurin? Scary Terry.
Scary Terry. I mean, I loved him as like that number one. Like I was saying, now that you've added Debo, now that you've added some of the pieces to that,
He's
like
a wide
that's
receiver
why I
one in
don't
fantasy.
understand. Yeah, that's why I don't understand getting rid of or trying to move Robinson, because they all just fit the pieces of the puzzle that they're supposed to fit. But the fact he's coming in off the pup list means nothing. He's still not signed. He still said he wanted a trade, right? Nothing changed from the
He's
last
requested
time.
a trade.
Correct. So if you request a trade and you don't have a contract on the book, it's going to be really tough for you to, even though you're not now able to personally perform, not, they're physically unable to perform. That's the pup list. He can perform, but will he? Will he? Just
That's the
like
million
I'm
dollar
hoping
question.
the same thing, with my guy. Like I need these guys to sign. I want McLaurin to sign. I want him to get his money. I want him to be a part of this year, because this is going to be a fun NFL season, man. Really fun.
Usually, what I've seen, the trend is that the players will get that deal they wanted. It feels like I never seen like a pay cut. Yeah, at the end they'll get it.
And yeah,
I mean, I haven't seen a player that
you are
got
correct.
Well, maybe like
no, there's been a few.
Brock
There's been a few.
Purdy got a little bit less than I thought. I thought he was gonna get like 58. We got 52 instead.
No, but I'm talking about players that have held out and ended up being
Brock
a disaster
right.
and ruining their career. If you remember Le'Veon Bell, he was a monster for the Pittsburgh Steelers, was running 1,500 yards a year, a dominant back in the NFL, held out because of that, the big contract dispute. They brought in somebody else. I believe at that time might have been James Conner they brought in, or one of those. And he doesn't. When's the last time you seen him run the ball? So that's the difference of it too. So as much as as much as the players do win 96% of the time, they risk the chance of losing, man. And it destroys the continuity of the team. It destroys continuity.
It destroys. Before we go, college football poll came out this past week. Texas is predicted to be number one. Is ranked number one. Penn State number two. 3 Ohio State, 4 Clemson, 5 Georgia. Still no UCF there. But Brett, what are your thoughts on this poll that came out? Maybe one day in our lifetime. I don't know.
No, this year, look, we got Scott Frost. Scott Frost led us from 0-12 to 12-0. Let's hope we can do it again. We got R.J. Harvey, one of our boys, who's a bad running back for Denver. He's going to have a great year this year. But I had Ohio State, and early in the thing, they must have changed it. But I had Texas 1, Ohio State 2, and they play week 1, which is big. You usually don't see
a big game first kick.
Yeah, you usually don't see a 1-2 on the first week of the college NFL season. You just don't usually see that.
They got to do it for ratings, Brett.
Well, usually that stuff's set up a year or two at a time, but it would be nice to think of it's all about ratings. But no, I appreciate you having me on, Santiago, and I look forward to we can speak again. Make it a little bit more in depth.
Maybe by the time you come back, we'll have Micah Parsons with a new contract.
Listen, by the time we speak again, Micah Parsons will definitely have a contract.
Okay.
From my mouth, there you go. From my mouth to Jerry Jones' ear.
And to the sportscast world.
I love you, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
There you have it, Brett, Blair, He'll be continuing as a contributor here at the Sportscast. You can reach us at the Sportscast1 on X and Instagram, and you can go to our website, thesportscast.net. We have late breaking the news stories and a lot going on.
And I have a new way
Contracts
too.
Still need to be signed.
I wanted to
Contracts-
mention to you.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
need you. So if you want to reach me, we're going to do smoke signals. Okay, I've talked to the Seminole tribe here in South
Brett,
Florida. They
take
have the
smoke
wood for
signals.
you. Correct. They will give you the blanket. Send a smoke signal. I'll get it. My people will see it, and we'll be back in touch with you. Okay.
And
So
then
if
Brett
you need
might
me-
get a telegraph next, so we'll see.
Exactly.
Anyways,
I'm setting that up. I'm setting that up.
this was your update.